Hi, I'm Chris,
I'm Dave.
and this is Two Old Skeletons Talking.
It sure as heck is. How are you?
I'm fine. How are
good.
you?
Great. We are in Seattle. It's cloudy today, just so you know. It's always
Yeah.
cloudy in Seattle.
It's not, but it is today. It's not raining on us, though.
No.
And we are driving south on 167 towards Tacoma. And where are we, Dave? Because you know this area better than me.
We're wedged between Algona and Pacific, which I have to say, if we have any fans in Algona and Pacific, I apologize. I hate this part of the Seattle metropolitan area the worst. I don't know what it is. I just do not like this part of where we are at. So, but yeah, we're wedged between Algona and Pacific right now.
What do you have against Algona and Pacific?
Nothing about them in general. It's just this whole valley just, I don't know, makes me really nervous. Not that I think it's dangerous down here or anything, but I'm just not a fan of it.
Is it sort of how Maya never wants to live in a forest because that's when the monsters can get you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I like industrial areas, but there's just something about this particular area where they can't decide if it's industrial or
rural
or
yeah.
suburban and it just, I don't know.
It tweaks you a little bit.
Yeah, it just tweaks me a little bit. So, but we're entering Pierce County right now. So now we're in a totally different county, and I feel a little bit different about things because, yeah.
All right.
You know, let's just start our thing. What are we going to talk about? What's our topic?
Our topic, coincidentally enough, is where we grew up as kids.
Okay, sure.
Because you grew up kind of around the world, and I grew up around the nation. So
I've
neither
got some
of us.
nation in there too, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, you start this one.
All right.
So jump in.
All right. I was born in Seattle, but we lived for my first year in a beach cabin up in Mukilteo, and we lived there for a year. Then we went to LA.
No, wait, you're number 2, right, in the family?
No, I'm number 1.
You're number 1, okay.
Yeah.
I can never remember which was which. So.
Yeah, no, because then when we moved to Los Angeles, that's where my sister was born.
Okay, all right.
And then we moved back to Seattle, and then we moved to San Jose. And I started to know things in San Jose, and we moved to Chicago when I was in first grade. And at that point, my dad had bought a swing set from a guy just on the classified ads, which was what you did, and you just follow the newspaper.
Craigslist, yeah.
Yeah, that was Craigslist before there was Craigslist. This guy had built this industrial swing set out of 2-inch water pipe, but my dad thought that it would be cool if we could climb up the swing set and have a platform. So he built this 8-foot by 8-foot platform out of 2x6s and 2x4s, and he'd actually built it in San Jose, so we moved it to Chicago.
Instead of just buying new 2x4s in Chicago.
Right. So he's setting it up, and he's got the swing set mostly set up, so he's put the platform together, and for whatever reason, it's standing up on its side, on end. This is maybe because he was about to attach it. I don't know. So I'm totally young. This is not actually a good choice for me, but he says, you want to put a hand on that and hold it for a second? I said, sure. And he goes about 8 feet away to work on the other side of the swing set. And I thought, it seems like this thing is pretty solid. I wonder if it would just stand here by itself. So I let go of it, and it stands. I say, hey, Dad, look, it's standing by itself. At which point I notice it has started in slow motion to fall. And I'm actually on the side of it that is falling towards.
Yeah.
And I'm 6. So I run away from it in the direction that it's falling.
Yeah.
But as soon as I take a couple of steps, I have a crisis of conscience. And I think, wait a minute, it was my job to hold it. I should hold it. I can fix this. So I turn around. Meanwhile, my dad is watching this happen, horrified.
Yeah.
I turn around and then realize, no, it is way too far gone. I can't solve this. So I turn around to run again, trip on a weed, fall, and I'm just far enough that it lands on my leg. And so it breaks my leg. But my dad said for a decade after that, he would wake up from nightmares where I had not gotten quite that far and it fell on my neck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because then they would be short one child.
Yeah.
So my leg breaks instantly. But my dad, of course, feeling horribly guilty, does not want this to be true. So we went into the living room. He carried me in and lays me down on the couch. How's it feeling now? really not good, really bad. How's it feeling now? Bad. How's it feeling now? Bad. And after an hour, my mom said, we are taking him to the doctor. So they took me to the doctor, who confirmed that, yes, I'd broken my leg, so I was in a cast for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But that was being in Chicago. Now, here's one of the things that was fun about living in Chicago.
Now, where in Chicago? Be specific now.
Oh,
South, north, Elgin?
We were outside of Chicago. I just think of it as Chicago. We were in Palatine.
Oh, yeah. That's where J9's grandma lived. Yeah, Palatine, yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, so we were in Palatine, and, it was getting to the age where you start doing sports. And both my parents had grown up in the Seattle area, so ice skating was not something that they did, but ice skating is absolutely something you do if you're in Chicago.
And that's close to the river down there, right? Palatine?
I don't remember. Right. I don't know. But I don't remember ever skating on a river, but they got me into a Pee-wee hockey league.
Oh, okay.
And actually, my sister played in a powder puff hockey league, too.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was. But, I think I've told you this, how my feet tend to get cold real easy. I've actually always wondered, when you're a Pee-wee, we had an outdoor rink. So we would play at night in Chicago at an outdoor rink. And our bench was this massive block of ice. So my feet would get so freaking cold.
Yeah.
And I've actually kind of thought, did I lose some capillary action in those couple of years that has plagued me till now, where I don't have that good a circulation in my feet?
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. But my dad, so he actually built an ice rink out of our patio behind our house, because for a couple of months there it would be cold enough that you could just pour some water on something, and he got this big squeegee so he could make it nice and smooth, and we would skate around on our patio.
That's pretty awesome.
It was.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Not as good as you making it snow in the backyard one year, but still.
That's true. That's true. And then after Chicago, we moved to Los Angeles, where we lived for 3.5 years. And that was a fun place to be, because we were about 1.5 miles from the ocean. Yeah. So all summer long, we would just walk down to the beach and play in the water. And I was really sad. All these times that we'd moved, I'd been excited to move, because, it's somewhere new.
Sure.
But I kind of started to put down roots in Los Angeles. So when we moved, when I was 12, I was like really sad. But we moved up to Oregon and lived on a river, so not all bad.
Well, here's a question I have for you. Do you think that your sort of gypsy lifestyle has led to an aversion to change? Or, well, not necessarily, I guess, in your case, huh? Or moving around, or sort of wanting really badly to stay in one place, or...
No, I've never had a problem with change of that sort, and I like moving around. Here's the interesting thing. All the different places that we lived, my grandparents were always still in West Seattle for all that time, both sets. So once or twice a year, no matter where we lived, we would come back to Seattle. Yeah. So all the places that we were never felt as much like home as Seattle did. Which is why when it came time for me to go to college, I was like, I want to live in Seattle. Yeah. And even though we then went and spent 7 years in Boston, Seattle has always been what felt like home to me.
Right, yeah. Cool. Well, and there's one more. You didn't talk about the river, living on the river.
Yeah. So we lived in Oregon. I was there for 7 years, and, you walk down 2 flights of stairs, and then you're on a beach on the Willamette River. So my mom was very much, we always need to do everything we can to save money. So they bought a couple of wood stoves, because we had our fireplace, and then there was this little fireplace that was in the kitchen. So they found this little wood stove that went into there. And the beautiful thing about living on the river was, in the winter when there were floods, logs would come down the river, trees that had washed off of banks, stuff like that. And all spring and summer, we would cut them up, carry them up, stack them up next to the house, and we heated the house with those 2 wood stoves year round.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Because there's nothing that's quite as meditative as just, all right, go out and spend an hour splitting wood.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, well, that was that episode.
Yeah.
Places Chris has left.
Hey, it's Chris. Thanks for watching our episode, everybody. We hope you liked it. And if you liked it, please subscribe. Also, if you'd like to see some outtakes and behind the scenes, you can support us and check them out at patreon.com/2oldskeletons. Thank you again. Be safe.